Mad Dog Tannen. With that said, come on in, pull up a chair. This is the official Bears Postgame Live, brought to you by United Airlines. Cole Wright alongside the 9-year Chicago Bear. It's Izzy Adonijay in Israel for the Bears to go out there and fight tooth and nail with this team, a San Francisco team that came into this battle depleted. All you can do is tip your cap to them, even though they didn't come out on the right side.
Absolutely. What a fight this game was from start to finish. The entire game, we were on the edge of our seats. And although they weren't able to finish in that last, but you know, they're a playoff team.
Sure.
This is a championship team. This is championship football. And as the season progresses, ultimately you want to be playing your best football. You want to be peaking as you come towards the end of the season. This Bears team is doing just that. Unfortunately, not able to finish, but we saw a lot of good things today that we can build off of going into Detroit Lions coming up.
Okay, last play of the game. The Bears, they had 4 seconds to try to poke it on in there, not able to do so, but as you
when you need to, can you make a play? They did today. You look at the rookies coming up, showing up on that receiving core. The running game was strong. Unfortunately, we just came a little bit short today.
And one thing you and I discussed, it's the maturation, the confidence, so ever blooming from Caleb Williams. You see his numbers, and despite the outcome, 25 for 42, 330 yards, and a pair of touchdowns. Once again, he was clean. He's not giving the ball away, and that's what you want when that postseason is right around the corner.
That's right. You know, you don't want to turn the ball over, right? You got to protect the football. We talked early on this season about the identity and the culture of this team. Like, who will this Chicago Bears team be? We know what they are, right? They're tough. They find ways to win. They're scrappy. You know, they're going to run the ball hard. They believe in themselves. They've brought a whole city along. And you know, we're really excited to see what this team's going to be able to do. Led by Caleb, he has undenied belief in his ability, in this ability of his team and his coaches to win. And we saw it here today.
Yeah, sometimes it's tough to compartmentalize a loss, but if you're the Chicago Bears and you know that that road to the Super Bowl runs through the San Francisco 49ers and Santa Clara, do you say to yourselves after this one, all right, we love our effort, we love the way that we played out there today, and we know that if we play them again, it's probably going to be right here, and we'd rather lost the first one than lose the second one.
Absolutely. You're going to go back and watch this film, and you're going to see all the places that you could have done a little bit better, that you could have made up for things that you let go. A lot of penalties today, missed opportunities today. That first half of football wasn't their best half. You know, they weren't able to maintain that time of possession offensively. Second half, much better. They're going to look back at that game and say, we should have beat this team. And if it goes back through San Francisco, this Bears team will be ready.
And you're talking about going back, watching the film. One thing that they're going to toil over is the defensive effort, because Brock Purdy was out there and he looked like a combination of Joe Montana and Steve Young. I mean, 24 completions on 33 attempts. You see the completion percentage, but just his ability to draw plays in the sand. Back-to-back weeks where he's been responsible for 5 touchdowns, isn't he?
I mean, if one aspect of this game we could point at that was a little disappointing is how Brock Purdy was able to be comfortable.
Surgical.
Oh, I mean, in that backfield, when he got out of the pocket, it was him just having his way. They've got to be able to get to that quarterback and make those plays. You know, they were so close so often. They got to make those plays. He's a talented player in this league, and when you have an opportunity to put a hat on him, put him in the field, put him on the ground, you got to make those plays. You can't just let him run back there rampant like he did today.
Yeah, the Bears defense, we saw them with a big play early. We also saw C.J. Gardner-Johnson with a terrible pass interference called on what would have been an interception. Could have changed the entire complexion of the ball game. Nevertheless, the Bears coming on the short end of the stick by the Bay, 42-38, and still on tap. You know that man is ready to face the music. Number 18, quarterback 1, in front of some hot mics. That and more, it's coming your way right here on the official Bears Postgame Live. Courtesy of those San Francisco 49ers, this is the official Bears Postgame Live, and we're officially taking it to the Twitter sphere. Keywan Capers, the fact that the Bears were able to go toe-to-toe against the Niners, impressive. Caleb, nail-biting chance to win a game, coming up short. No doubt the Bears will make a deep run in the playoffs, like a young Miss Cleo. Hopefully everything he's touching on comes to fruition. Obvious shirts, you know our guy Joe's always spot on. I literally cannot remember a Bears shootout as crazy as the one that we just watched. And speaking of shootouts, let's go United Airlines through the air, brought to you by United Airlines, because it was all about those sidearms of the quarterbacks today. And you see Luther Burden, he was the recipient of Caleb Williams and everything he was able to bring to the table. 138 yards, 8 snags, had himself a house call as well. Something tells me he was out there, is he playing like Big Luther not little Luther, because this young man right here, the chemistry we're starting to see between him and Caleb Williams, it's remarkable, man.
Yeah, he showed up today and with an absolute spark here. Again, just really great job in the air today by the boys.
Yeah, when Luther's running those curls, it's always quite right. And then you see what Colston Loveland's able to do. The fact that he had his first drop of the season, you and I talked about it. The fact that he is so sure-handed, we already knew that the Bears were going to go right back to him, didn't we?
Yeah, absolutely. He is a go-to weapon for this Bears offense, and it was surprising to see him have that drop. You know, it's unlike him. He usually is going to show up, he's going to make plays. He's a guy that when he touches the ball, he's trying to get into the end zone, and he's a weapon. He's going to look at that film. He knows he left one out there today, and these guys are going to be ready. When the playoff starts, our team is going to be sharp and ready to make plays and get after it.
What does it tell you about Ben Johnson as well as Colston Loveland that he was able to go back to him, and the fact that Colston Loveland had the self-confidence enough to be able to lead the Bears down the field?
Yeah, the trust is there. You know, they trust in their ability to make plays. They trust in their ability to find a way to win football games. And for me, that's the theme of this year. Regardless of what the situation is, regardless of the time on the clock, this Bear team, time and time again, finds a way to get that W, to win the game. Although it didn't happen today, this is, right? When you listen to Caleb, the confidence that he has, you know, talking about, I can make any throw, I can make any play. Yeah, and that trickles down into the team. Everybody knows that they can show up when Caleb throws it, they're going to make a play, and they're working together to make sure that they get it done and they win, and it's impressive to watch.
And what's been the most impressive all season long is the leadership, the guidance, the tutelage of Ben Johnson, everything that he's been able to show this team as far as winning is concerned. Just a little over a year ago, this team was obviously eliminated from all playoff contention, and then Matt Eberflus was out the door. Just the about face, the complete 180 that this franchise has been able to do under the leadership of Johnson is unbelievable.
It's impressive, and what's so impressive, it's a young team. These guys are young. They're just getting started. They're just gelling and finding their chemistry, and to have Ben Johnson, the way he leads, his character, what he brings to this team is so special, and with that, we know we can do this for a long time coming.
Yeah, Ben Johnson, a leader of men. Today, however, not able to wrangle in that 12th win of the season, but there still is Week 18. We all know what that holds in the crosshairs, those Detroit Lions, and a rematch with his former employer. We're going to hear from the front man in just a little bit. Spearheading a somber locker room, now the head coach, Ben Johnson, after the defeat.
Two guys that did not finish. One was Joe Tryon with concussion, and then the other one was Noah Sewell with an Achilles. So we'll see what they look like here going forward. You know, that's a tough one for our guys. It's somewhat similar there to the Green Bay game a few weeks ago, just in terms of coming down to the last minute and last play of the game and just coming up one play short there. So, you know, the first half certainly didn't go the way we wanted it to as a team. You know, they controlled the ball. They did a good job building the lead there, you know, down by 7 at halftime. We couldn't stay on the field on offense. We were 0 for 3 on third downs. They were 5 for 7 on third downs in that first half. And yet, second half, I did feel like we picked up our game a little bit as a team. And, you know, we closed that gap and we made it to where we could potentially win that thing there at the end. So I was proud of the guys for that, but it just wasn't enough. And when you go on the road against a good team like that, you got to be on top of your mess the entire time, and we just weren't. Some good performances there, notably by our rookies. You know, Luther had a huge game for us. Colston had a big game for us. Thought Caleb played pretty well for the most part, taking care of the football and throwing it accurately. So that was good to see. The pick six by TJ was huge to get us going. You could really feel the sideline come alive there. Get us into the game, and so even though our offense was a little bit hit or miss there in the first half, that helped contribute some points to the cause. So with that, I'll go ahead and open it up.
Ben, do you have Luther got hurt there at the end? Do you have a?
I don't have an update on that yet. Yeah, I just heard that.
On the final play, what is kind of supposed to happen if everything works out?
Yeah, we didn't quite get aligned in the formation we wanted to. It's on me. I didn't give him the call fast enough, and so he's trying to piecemeal it together. I got to do a better job on that.
What was your perspective, the lateral play there, the one like 2 plays?
I couldn't really see. Yeah, I was on the other side of the field.
With that play in that situation, obviously, you know, there's a possibility he gets tackled in bounds, but like, are you, when you call that, you're okay with the?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not?
No, I just want to make sure that
There's plenty of time. We got plenty of good plays. So.
You talk about Caleb, just the way he battled from the early slow start and was kind of able to go almost shot for shot with Purdy in a sense. What stood out to you just about the way he was able to keep scoring for you guys?
Yeah, no, he knew he needed to come out and make some plays for us here tonight. When you're going against a dynamic offense like that, we talked about the possibility as an offense, us going tit for tat with them, and we at times were able to answer that call. They just ended up making more plays than us.
Defense was on the field, I think, almost 22 minutes in the first half. What was kind of the message about trying to, get them off quicker in the second half?
Yeah, well, I mean, part of it's a two-headed problem there, because you got us not being able to stay on the field on offense to where they weren't able to get off the field on third downs on defense. And so that's really how I saw it. It came down to the third downs.
It seemed like Purdy had a lot of time to throw. Just from what you can diagnose with the pass rush, what do you think was some of the issues with that tonight?
Yeah. I mean, he's a dangerous player, particularly when he can see down the field and have that much time. I agree with you. And then he extended some of those plays with his legs too, and he did a real nice job. And we certainly didn't affect him enough.
The free play touchdown Caleb threw to Colston.
Mm-hmm.
What did you like about how he just handled that and how the guys handled that whole situation?
Yeah, it was something we talked about going into the week, and we repped it again this morning in our walkthrough, and guys understood what we were trying to get done on that, and so it was really well executed.
The challenge this week with the illness going through the building, team, it happens, but how did you feel everybody kind of managed it and dealt with it?
Yeah. I mean, we all understand that. If someone has to go down because they're sick, then someone else has to step up, and we did the best we could as a organization in terms of trying to stop it. From masks to washing hands to being diligent that way. But it certainly did a number on our guys. But we felt good about the guys that we went to the game with. They were going to be able to play like they're 100%.
Let's say about Darnell to fly out here this morning and play full game the way he did.
Yeah, he was excited. He came in this morning and he had a big smile on his face. You can't hold me back from this one, he said. So that was good to see.
On the free play, the discipline by Caleb to not settle for any of those shorter routes, what did you like about how he bought time to find Colston there?
Yeah, that's why we do free plays is to throw the ball down the field. So if we were throwing that short, I'd probably be upset with him.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. Thank you.
So we knew once the game was underway that Darnell Wright took the private jet out to the West Coast there. And to hear Ben Johnson say that he said there's nothing that's going to hold me back as far as this game is concerned, what does that tell you about this whole team in general?
It's just everybody's bought in
to
the culture. They want to be there for the man that's next to them, for their teammate. They want to show up for each other. They know they can contribute.